I'm Jack Fender. I'm the Minister of Missions here at Crossroads Bible Church, and today I have the privilege of talking with John and Naomi Musgraves. John and Naomi are ministry partners of Crossroads, have been for many years, and one of the couples that we have sent out from Crossroads. John and Naomi, welcome.
Thank you.
You are involved in a ministry in Russia, down near the Black Sea. That's not where you started. You started in Moscow. Tell us a little bit about what took you over there in the first place.
Well, I had in the 90s taught in New Life Bible College in Moscow once a year for 2 weeks, and after I had a bout with leukemia, and had a bone marrow transplant, and we'd sold our business, sold our house, and didn't have jobs to go back to when I got to feeling better, so we felt like God was calling us to go over there and minister to pastors who were working in really isolated situations. So in 2002 we went over and began to work through the Bible College and visiting pastors, trying to encourage them, and also twice a year putting on a seminar in Moscow where they could come back, get some further training, and then go back out.
Right. As I understand, the college run by another organization closed down about, 3 years ago?
Yes, 3 years ago.
And at that time, you decided to go south. What was the reason? Maybe Naomi can talk about why leave Moscow, Russia, a city of 15 million?
We discovered that the pastors had been working 10 years without a break. And as they confided to us, they were telling us that they were so tired they were ready to give up. With more schools closing, we decided, wouldn't it be better to keep the existing pastors functioning and well and adjusting to having a break, actually, with their families so that they could continue as effectively as possible.
Sure.
So we thought, why don't we go where they want to be and have them come to us? And we started to explore those possibilities.
Sure. So you left Moscow, Russia, the major, big, huge, one of the biggest cities in the world, and you went down to the Black Sea, and you purchased a house, which you decided to call House of Grace. What is the House of Grace?
House of Grace is a good-sized house in Sabanabalka, which is a little village. We moved from 15 million people in Moscow to 4,000 people in Sabanabalka, and it's a quiet village, and it's a place for pastors to come and rest. It's a place for pastors to bring their families, have a vacation, and just renew, so that they go back to their churches refreshed and ready to tackle more ministry.
Wow. And so roughly how many families have been to your home since then?
Well, last summer we had 35 families stay with us.
Wow.
And that included 53 children. Wow. At one point in time we had 11 children between the ages of about 2 years and 18 years in the house at one time.
Okay. Wow. So what's the average day look like in the summer with all of these families in your house?
They come for 8 to 10 days, and begins in the morning. Naomi and I get up and have breakfast ready for them. It's a cold breakfast. They can come whenever they want between 8 and 10 o'clock. And then once breakfast's over, we clean up, and the rest of the day is theirs for the most part to do whatever they want, go to the beach or whatever. And we do other little tasks around the house, and they cook their own lunches and dinners. But we do, when they first arrive, spend some interview time with them, interview each couple, Naomi with the wife and me with the husband individually. And then following that, we gather them together so that we as a foursome can have some time to just find out how we can pray for them and spend some time praying for them. That's the first day. And then the last day they're there, we put on a dinner for them. We call it an appreciation dinner, and it's really kind of Naomi's idea, but the idea behind it is that if these guys are in ministry and they're serving others, and like all over the world, when you're serving, often the people you're serving don't say thank you often enough, and that's our opportunity on behalf of their people to say thank you to them.
Wow. What does the coming season look like for you?
Well, Russians don't typically make reservations ahead of time, but we've been trying to encourage that. We already have a good third of our spots for the summer filled, and we're anticipating probably a full house all through the summer.
Great. Another busy season. What about the classes? You held a class, instructional class for pastors this past spring, and you want to continue those.
Yeah, we wanted to put House of Grace to use in the off season, and we've done a couple of things. We've made it available to churches in the local area to use for retreats and we've held several leadership or elder retreats from various churches. The church that's there in Anapa used it for a women's retreat over Women's Day, which is a big holiday in Russia. And then we also wanted to experiment with the idea of providing some classes to help local churches train up-and-coming leaders. And so we did that this year with one class where we had a pastor come from Nebraska who taught a 4-day class. And the response was very good. On the Russian side, 4 churches immediately snapped up all 12 spots we had in it. And we've had, since then I've contacted or let the word out that we want to do this next winter. And we've had, would like next winter to have a class in January, a class in February, and a class in March. So 3 possible teaching opportunities, and I've already had 4 people contact me wanting to take those spots.
Wonderful. The people at the Crossroads Bible Church know you folks well, and but how can we support you in other ways?
Crossroads has always been very supportive. Those who want to support us financially can give to Crossroads, and it's just note that it's for INLD Russia. And if they want to keep up to date with us and what's happening, there's a couple of ways. One is they can let us know, and we can add them to our email list and give them our regular updates and keep them aware, and that way they can pray for us. And another way is through a Facebook page that Naomi created called House of Grace Russia. And you don't have to be a Facebook member, but you can log on there and check out what's happening currently at House of Grace. She usually puts a photo or 2 on every couple days, and constantly updates it. And then there's always opportunities when we're here. There's usually someone rounding up things that we can use for crafts at the seminar, or something that we can use as giveaways, and there's always opportunities to get involved that way.
I can only guess how much appreciated this must be. You mentioned that most of the pastors in Russia and the former Soviet countries, they are working regular jobs, and being a pastor is something they do in their extra time, having very little time, very little resources to get away, to relax, to have time with their family. To come there to the House of Grace has to be a huge blessing.
Mm-hmm. They definitely look forward to it.
Well, thank you both very much for being here today.
Thank you, Jack.
It's been fascinating.